Hey guys, how's it going today? I wanted to take a couple minutes to give an adoption update. It's been just a little while again. I'm trying to keep in mind of when I do them each time. I want to do at least one a month or two. Truth is, a year and a half into the process, there hasn't been a ton of updates other than when we were going through the home study process. With each child we thought we were hopeful on and then rejected somehow. It's been a long year and a half road. So there has been some updates, but I can't say that they're all what we would hope for. Okay, so it is now August, in fact, middle of August. Over the course of this summer, we have actually been matched with one child, and we're working towards two others. Not really at the same time. So the matched child, there was a teenage child who seemed like a pretty good fit. We had several meetings between the social worker, the foster mom. The social worker interviewed us to go over stuff from our home stay to make sure we were a good fit. Everything was seeming good. There was some information that came out in that process that had us pausing a little bit, but in the end, that wasn't the biggest factor. The biggest factor was that child had expressed to both the social worker and the foster mom, so this was more than once, that they absolutely did not want to be, they wanted to be adopted, but they did not want to be adopted by a large family. They wanted other kids in the home, but 1 to 2 kids was their ideal, not 7 others. The social worker thought that, maybe this child just didn't really know what they wanted, and I think was choosing to ignore that. But the truth is, a 13-year-old can very much know what they want when we're talking about such a big life change. And so we really had to respect that child's wishes. And we had to be the ones to step up and say exactly that we're going to respect their wishes and we're not going to proceed. And like I said, there were some other concerns, but none of that mattered because this is not what was going to work for that child. And guys, the reality of it is too, a 13-year-old who's stuck in a situation they don't like can absolutely destroy a home or a family. And why do that to us and to that child? It's not worth it. Now, if they come back to us in a month or two and say, they've been talking to that child and, explained all the benefits or something, and that child's open to at least meeting us, then we can go from there. We still would have to address the other concerns, but we would go from there. So in that process, there was a sibling group that we were looking into. We had looked into them previously, but each time we looked into them, it was not an option, partially because there's more siblings to the sibling group. And for a while, they were okay with placing them in the same manner that they are currently in foster care, which the 2 siblings we were looking at are placed together. Then they decided they wanted all of the siblings together. Then they decided they wanted most of the siblings together. We're not really open to the vast majority of the other siblings, so that really wasn't an option for us. But then things kind of changed a little bit, and we had our worker reach out to their worker again and see if they were still looking to place everybody together or if they were open to going back to their original thought of just the ones that were placed together already. And they said they were. So we started that process. Well, that's when the 13-year-old also happened. And at that point, we were actually told we had to choose. Because we were progressing so much with the 13-year-old, we had to pick which one to proceed with. And we kept being told by people, we kept being told by our worker, honestly, that, the 13-year-old was more likely. There were so many risks with the siblings, including legal risks because they're not considered legally free because of an appeal. So there was a lot of push. And I'm not saying that they pushed us to that they forced us to make that decision. In the end, the decision was ours. But it was definitely made clear which decision they would actually support. That kind of stunk, but whatever. So when the 13-year-old fell through, we said, you know what? We still want to pursue the other two. So we did. We went back there. However, in that time frame that we had stepped away, and we're talking 2 weeks, a relative had come out of the woodwork and was interested. However, they're not interested in both of the children that we were. They, out of the larger sibling group, there's a few kids that relative wants. Not all of them, but it took one of the two we were interested in, which we thought, okay, if they're still going to place the other one individually, maybe. But what we questioned would happen, and we actually said we support happening for the sake of keeping siblings together. There's another sibling that was kind of separated slightly, and they're going to lump the one we were looking at along with the other one together. They did say that we could look into both of them if we wanted to. However, we have enough information on that other sibling to know it's not an option for our family. It would not be a good fit or necessarily safe. So then I quickly confirmed with our worker that we're back to square one. We have absolutely no prospects on the table at this point in time. I looked at the numbers through one website alone, and it is not the only one, but through one website alone, we have made 63 inquiries. Some of those are individual kids and some of those are sibling groups. I have, in the last few days, made a couple more inquiries, but not many. So we'll see. I don't know. I don't know where the future is going to take us. I don't know what's in store for us next. We're not giving up completely yet, but we are losing momentum slightly. It's really hard. I was talking to a friend last night who works at a pregnancy resource center and was talking about how for every newborn that's placed for adoption, there's 36 or 38 families waiting. Which obviously that's not the direction we're going, because then I countered too, because she was telling me their stats that they had just discussed. And the stats for foster care, I think the last one I saw was there's 155,000 children in the U.S. foster care system currently waiting for their forever families. These are children who do not have the prospect of reunification at this point still. So it really puts some of that into perspective. 155,000 kids waiting. There's a lot of families who could do a lot for those kids, but it is completely heartbreaking that is exactly what we've been working on. And for a year and a half, we have not been able to make that happen, which makes us a little jaded. I'm going to be honest. It's hard to know that there's that many out there, and that the social workers would prefer they continue to sit in foster care than to consider us for any number of reasons. But there's not much we can do other than to keep trying and praying. So if you're the praying type, we would really appreciate prayers that God's will be done, that if there is a child out there that's meant to be with our family, that be presented to us, and that we be everything we can for that child or children. We're not against sibling groups. One of the inquiries I did just make the other day is a sibling group that it would be a little crazy. I don't know if it happened, but it'd be fun. So anyhow, there's my update. It's nothing exciting. It's nothing positive at this point. It's slightly heartbreaking, but it is what it is, and it's kind of become our reality. So anyhow, I hope this is not a likable video, but give me a thumbs up and support. And just so I can know that you're behind us on this, and every little thought counts. Anyhow, I hope you guys are having a blessed day, and I will see you in the next video.